Starting in 1995 with the release of Toy Story, Pixar has been one of the constants in the film industry. It is one of the most reliable sources of good family entertainment, and they've come out with one giant hit after another. But in recent years, they've been relying on sequels and cash grabs a little too much, and the quality has gone down a little bit. Over the years with releases like Monsters University and Inside Out, which a lot of people liked a lot more than I did, but I still liked it. But they haven't had a bona fide masterpiece since 2012 when they released Brave. That's all changed in 2017 with the release of their new film Coco. It's about a young boy who has a heart of a musician, but unfortunately his family frowns upon it because his great-great-grandmother was in love with a musician who abandoned her for fame and fortune, and it turns out that is his great-great-grandfather. And through in an attempt to win a talent show with his famous great-great-grandfather's guitar, he ends up in the land of the dead, and his great-grandmother is willing to send him back with her blessing as long as he doesn't play music. He's not willing to agree to this. So with the help of a new friend who has his own reasons for needing to get home, he decides to find his more famous ancestor to get his blessing. I really like this movie. I had a great time. It has all the hallmarks of a great Pixar movie: likable characters, fantastic computer animation, a great story, quirky humor, and just that sense of the Pixar magic that you really can't find in any other movie. A lot of animated movies these days, like the Despicable Me franchise, the Madagascar movies, are basically just cash grabs built on marketing and sequels and internet memes. But Pixar has always been above that. They've always placed emphasis on story and character development and trying to push the boundaries, see what they can do that they weren't able to do with the last film. And they do that again, and they hit it right out of the park. I love this movie. This was my number 4 film of the year. I gave it a perfect 4 out of 4. I loved it.
Yeah, most years I find an animated film makes it into my top 10. I was worried this year that was going to be the case. However, I 100% agree, share your sentiment when it comes to this film. This is 4 out of 4 for me. To me, this was their first masterpiece as far as original property since WALL-E. That I love. I wasn't as big of a fan of Brave. Like you mentioned, Inside Out, a lot of people were fans of, and I thought those were perfectly good films.
Oh yeah, I recommend Inside Out without hesitation.
Yeah,
I just didn't think it had the emotional impact of something like Brave or this, for that matter.
Yeah. To me, this is timeless. This is I had no idea how in depth the story was.
It's as good as Finding Nemo.
Yes. Yeah.
It won't be as remembered as fondly because it doesn't have anyone as marketable or memorable in its own way as Dory, but it's just as good.
Yeah. And
it's also very different.
Yes, right. Honestly, I felt like the dramatic elements of the story carried it more than the comedy, which is rare for a children's film. I would say it's not very funny. It is, and it's the heart. Yeah,
and that's the hallmark of all the Pixar movies is that they all have a huge heart, except for the sequels that didn't really need to exist, like Monsters University or The Good Dinosaur, which was just a very troubled movie, but it wasn't terrible by any means. One thing I want to mention is that, of course, because of the plot, it's going to revolve around music. This is about music, but it's not a musical in the same sense that, like Beauty and the Beast or The Lion King are. Yes, occasionally characters, break out into song, but it's all the other characters know they're breaking out into a song. So it's not like, a song and dance piece, like
Moana, let's just
right,
song.
where everyone breaks into song. No,
Yeah.
but music is the heart of the film, and I found that perspective really refreshing. And the music is great. And the film, the film looks just so good. I just want to see it again, just so I can, catch everything that I missed. This is the most visually dazzling movie since Valerian or even Star Wars. It deserves that kind of comparison.
Yeah, I'll be highly disappointed if it doesn't win.
The best, anime. It will. But this is a great movie. I highly recommend it to anyone. And a lot of people you think that oh, I'm an adult, I can't go see a Pixar an animated movie for kids by myself. I'm like, forget about it. Just go see it anyway. No one's gonna. This is one of those movies that
You don't care. You're going to get lost in the story. You're going to forget you're watching animated film.
Exactly. This is a movie for everyone, not just little kids. And it's just a great, great movie. I loved it.
Same. See it.
In fact, see it twice.